Yo, it's your boy, Eugene Reynolds III. I'm going to be teaching y'all about the 6 trig ratios today of the right triangle. Solve for sine, you do opposite of the theta over the hypotenuse. Solve for cosine, you do adjacent of the theta over hypotenuse. For tangent, you do opposite of the theta over adjacent to the theta. Then, for these 3 trig ratios, they have their reciprocals, which are cosecant, secant, and cotangent. For cosecant, it's just the opposite of what you would do for sine. Same goes for the other two, which are secant is the opposite of cosine, and cotangent is the opposite of tangent. So here's an example of a sine problem right here. Say you got Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying, and he has to save somebody on the building, but he has to know the distance to shoot his web so he can get up to the top of the 700-foot skyscraper. So, being the smart person Peter Parker is, he would use sine. Alright, so here's how you would set up a sine problem. So remember, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, opposite of the theta. So 700 over the hypotenuse, which is x. So say Spider-Man has to shoot his web up at an angle of, say, 76 degrees. So you would use sine of 76 equals your opposite 700 over x. You would multiply the x to this side. Once you get that x multiplied to that side, it cancels out this x on this side. So then after that you divide 700 over sine of 76. So once you do 700 over sine of 76, you probably want to put it in your calculator, and make sure when you do it you change your mode to degrees for these type of problems like this. And once you do that, it will give you an answer for your hypotenuse being about 721.4 feet. And that is how far Spider-Man will have to shoot his web up to get to the top of the skyscraper. Cut it. So our next problem is a cotangent problem. And in this scenario specifically, Spider-Man has came into a bank where a robbery is being staged. And the bank robber will not let the hostages go unless if he solves this cotangent problem right here. Thank you very much. So remember, cotangent is adjacent over opposite. So you would have to find the adjacent side in order to solve this problem. To do that, you would have to do the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You have your a, which is 5. You do not have your b, but you do have your c, which is 72. Now, so you would square these two, 5 being 25, and 72 being 5,184. You would combine, you would divide. So you would divide 5,184 over 25, giving you 200, giving you b squared equaling 207.36. With that, you would then square root that to get rid of the little 2 right there, which would equal 14.4, which would be your blank over here, your b over here. You having your 14.4, you can now find your cotangent, which is your adjacent over your opposite. So cotangent being 14.4 over 5. Spider-Man has saved the day once again. Thank you all for listening.